One dark night, when the sound of chickens crowing loudly echoed in the yard, Diep and her little daughter Nhi panicked and discovered that a bad guy had sneaked in. The anxiety weighed heavily on them, causing the mother and daughter to lose sleep all night. The next morning, Diep told James everything, and at that moment, a surprising secret was revealed: the wooden house that James had secretly built for Diep and Nhi. Like a new, loving home. But does that place really bring peace? Let's follow along. Night fell. The small village was covered in silence. The dim moonlight shone through the bamboo trees. The rustling wind made the space even colder. In the simple house, Diep had just laid down on the bed, and Nhi was next to Diep so that the mother and daughter could sleep. Different from every day, suddenly the sound of chickens in the coop squawking, mixed with strange noises in the yard. Diep startled and sat up, looking out through the dark crack of the door. Diep sat for a while and saw a shadow, then the sound of flapping wings. Her heart was pounding. Diep realized that a bad guy had broken in and stolen the chicken that the mother and daughter had painstakingly raised for so long. Nhi was afraid and hugged Diep. Her eyes were frightened. "Mom, Diep, is there a bad guy?" "Mom." Diep could only hug Nhi tightly, not daring to go out. The noise gradually stopped. The figure disappeared into the dark night, leaving only the miserable sound of the chickens, making both mother and child heavy with anxiety. That night, Diep could hardly sleep. She kept tossing and turning, thinking about the lost chicken, about the safety of her child and herself. Being poor was already difficult. Now being stalked by bad guys. Where could the mother and child find peace? The next morning, when James came to visit, Diep immediately recounted the incident in fatigue and worry. Nhi sat silently, her eyes still showing fear. James listened, his face pensive, his eyes shining with determination. He didn't say much, just gently placed his hand on Diep's shoulder, then said, "Come with me. I have something to show you." Diep was surprised but still nodded. Then James drove Diep and Nhi to a small plot of land near the edge of the forest, where a lovely wooden house was gradually taking shape. The wall was made of sturdy oak, the roof was bright red tiles, and the small window frames opened up to a spacious view. Diep was stunned and speechless. She had never thought that James would secretly prepare such a place. When did you start doing this?" James smiled gently. "I want you and Nhi to have a safe place to live. A real home, no longer having to worry about bad guys disturbing us." Those words made Diep's eyes suddenly blur. Her heart filled with emotion. Not letting time pass in vain, James and Diep started cleaning the wooden house. Inside, the wooden shelves were covered in dust, and a few cobwebs were hanging across the corners. Diep rolled up her sleeves and together with James, swept every corner and wiped every window. The rustling sound of the broom mixed with the sound of the wind outside the forest created a peaceful melody. Nhi sat at the small table on the porch, opening her book to study. Occasionally, she raised her head to look at Diep and James, her clear eyes shining with a strange joy. Sometimes, Nhi giggled when she saw James clumsily carrying the chair outside, while Diep carefully arranged the things. The working atmosphere was gentle and warm. When the cleaning was done, the sky began to turn dark. James suggested, "Why don't we eat here tonight, as a way to welcome our new home?" Diep hesitated for a moment, but Nhi's sparkling eyes made it impossible for her to refuse. So the three of them prepared a simple dinner together. James lit the fire, the sound of firewood crackling, the smoke rising with the fragrant smell of pine. Diep quickly picked vegetables, cut some fruits to bring along, and Nhi ran to ask her mother to let her wash rice. Those small things, when placed next to each other, created an indescribable feeling of peace and togetherness. The smell of freshly cooked rice gradually spread throughout the wooden house. On the small table, a few simple dishes, vegetable soup, braised fish, and some pickles, were served. But somehow they were so warm. The yellow light shone down, illuminating Diep's radiant face, James's relaxed face, and Nhi's chattering story about school. Laughter echoed, overpowering the worries of the night before. In that moment, Diep suddenly thought, perhaps this was the happiness she had longed for all this time: a roof, a meal, and a sincere man willing to protect her and her child. When dinner ended, James sat quietly for a while, then slowly said, "This house is just the beginning. I will do many more things to make you and Nhi truly feel secure. No matter what happens, I will not let you two suffer." Hearing that, Diep was silent, tears rolling down, but her heart was filled with happiness. Meanwhile, Nhi innocently shouted, "I love it here. I want to stay in this wooden house forever." The innocent voice of a child made the two adults look at each other. A gentle smile appeared on the corner of their lips. That night, the three of them sat on the porch, listening to the chirping of crickets, breathing in the scent of grass and trees after the rain. All worries temporarily disappeared, leaving only peace in their souls. But somewhere, deep down, Diep still wondered, could this wooden house really protect them from the unexpected events of life? That question lingered in the dark night, like a promise for the days ahead, when their new journey had just begun.